I would like to teach you a curious little game with an intriguing history, quite an old history. It goes back about 1,000 years to the Heian era of Japanese history, and a game that was played in the imperial court. Now, the materials they used for this game were quite exquisite. A bag made out of silk brocade. For today's purpose, we'll make use of this, a little bit more economical. And also, they would use beautiful precious stones that had been ground and polished into a perfect condition. Well, these are actually stones from a children's board game, and I believe they're made out of glass. There are 5 of them. 4 of them are made out of white material, and 1 of them is made out of black material, and that's where the game gets its name, because the name of the game is Kurotsuke, which is Japanese for black moon. Intriguing. It's really very simple. I'm going to take the stones, yes, I'm going to shake them up in the bag, and I'm going to give several members of the audience the chance to take one. And the object of the game is to try and guess who gets the black moon, you see? So, with a nice shake there, let me ask you, if you would, reach inside, take one out, but keep it in your fist so that you don't see what color you have, and neither does anyone else. Have you got one?
Got one.
All right, keep it concealed for right now, if you would. One for you, please. Okay? And how about for you? Just grab one, hold it in your fist, don't let anyone see what it is. Oh, okay, you got one? All right. How about... Okay. And there's one left, if you can reach in and feel that. And hold it in your fist. Okay? Now, the idea with this game was that whoever was it would try and guess who among the players was holding the black stone. And I'm going to try and do that now. But if I were to try and do it at this moment, I would only be guessing, which might or might not be enjoyable, but it wouldn't be very impressive. See, at this moment, I can't tell you who has the black stone for the simple reason that no one in this group knows if they're holding the black one or not. And until that thought is in your mind. So with that in mind, I'm going to turn my back and ask each of you to peek inside your fist. Don't show anyone around you. I want you to be the only one who knows. But peek inside your fist so that you know if you're holding the black stone or if you're holding a white stone. And then I'll turn around and we can actually... Okay, I'm going to turn around again, so make sure they're concealed. And at this point, one of you knows that he or she is holding on to that Kurotsuke. And I'm going to try and find that person by giving a careful look to each of my players. Ooh, you're very good at this. Even though, as far as I know, none of you's ever played this, but you've always played similar games because you're keeping those very deadpan faces, and it's very rough. And I have to try and eliminate 4 of you as having the white stones and find the one who's correct. Show us your stone. That's one down. That's the white stone. Okay. Show us yours. That should be white also. Yes. That's 2 down. Okay, look at me. Look at me. Look at me. Show us your stone. White again. It's down to the 2 gentlemen in the back. Would you stand up? One of you has that black moon, and the other a white stone. You've got the white stone, show them the black one. Here we go. Aren't you going to try and pronounce the name of this one?
Absolutely not.
Yes, Kurotsuke. This is a piece that I came up with in the early 1980s, and I've held on to it ever since. One of the things I like about it, it's not a bad little performance piece. It involves a lot of people, and it's entirely impromptu. There's nothing special. It can be any type of bag. You can borrow a bag to do this. And the items do not have to be fancy. Not that these are terribly fancy, but they could be marbles, they could be coins, they could be balls of paper with one having an X on it. There are all sorts of ways you can go about this. So you can literally put this together whenever and however you like, using whatever is available. In this case, I've used stones from a children's board game. You can use marbles, and there are various other fancy things you can buy if you want to do that. This is a type of routine that has been explored by many. Who's got what type of thing? In this case, specific to finding 1 out of 5. The challenge here is as follows. I don't suppose it'll surprise you to know that I'm holding back the black one. When I take the 5, I simply keep hold of the black stone and hold it up against the mouth of the bag, so that when the first people start picking, they have to be getting white stones. However, that only works for the first 3 people, because the 4th person, if they reach in, they're going to feel there's only 1. The people before that are not going to know that it's 1 short. You can't tell that there's 1 missing. But now this last person is going to reach in, this 4th person, and the game's over. So that's what makes this interesting. And what happens? Well, here's what happens. After the 3rd person has chosen their stone, in shaking the bag on my way to the 4th person, I drop the black stone. So now the black and 1 of the whites are remaining in the bag. So the 4th person takes out 1, and so does the 5th person, and I don't know which of them has which. The bag at this point is empty. I can tear it up and crumple it up and throw it away. We're only interested in the stones. And all I know is that the black stone is in the possession of either the 4th or the 5th person. Now, I've deliberately not gone sequentially in a row. I've deliberately gone sort of back and forth with my people so that it's not totally clear who 4th position and so forth, and that's of some value. But I now only know that the 4th person may have the black one or the 5th person. So how do I deal with this? And the answer is through verbal subterfuge. I explained that the nature of the game, which, by the way, has nothing to do with any imperial court of Japan, Heian or otherwise, and if you find a different ethnic background you'd like to give to this game, by all means, do so with my blessing. But I explained that the game is to try and find the black one, and I also point out that in order to do that, I have to eliminate the 4 white stones. I then, after a moment's concentration, suddenly spin around to person number 4 and say, "Show us your stone." Now, the person, the black stone, the routine's over. I've done what I promised to do. I have found the person with the black stone. Everybody applauds. The white stones are revealed to be in the other people's possessions, and everybody goes home happy. If, however, as was the case in the performance that was videotaped earlier, the person, number 4, opens their hand and has the white stone, instead of saying, "Oh, I failed," I proceed as if that was the design, because I said I was going to eliminate the 4 white stones, and therefore I say, "You got a white stone, now let's see if I can do it again." And now I start eliminating other people in a sort of random sequence. 5 is left. They, of course, must be the one with the black rock, and therefore we're able to bring the routine to a viable conclusion.